Hey, good morning. It's Dr. Fred. It is Tuesday morning. Here's a Tuesday morning mindset shift, Tuesday morning transformation. So this right here will help you go from a life of expectation into appreciation and love. So I have a question for you. Have you ever said, I never thought I'd be here? How many times have all of us said that? I never thought I'd be here. Well, you guys know, life has its twists and turns, and we have these preconceived ideas and expectations of where you want to be at a certain point in your life. Well, by the time I'm this age, I want to be this and I want to do this, and here's my financial status. We have this big plan for everything that we want to do, and it's usually related to status, right? It's usually related to our bank account and the house we live in and the job we have and our relationship and all these things. Hey, Anthony, so it's usually related to our status because it gives us significance. And the problem with that is we set an expectation that's related to our status, and we all know life just doesn't always work that way, right? And so what happens, it becomes a very fragile existence, because then all of a sudden when life takes its turns, we have these unfulfilled expectations that now become our identity. We make them our identity, and that becomes very fragile because then our identity relates to things outside of us, not who we truly are inside of us. And then we set ourselves up for failure. And what's the emotion? We assign an emotion and a meaning to those situations and expectations. So people are never hurt by conditions. They're hurt by the meaning, the emotion they assign to those conditions. And that's what causes us our pain. And we're emotional beings. We store that pain, and then it's hard to get over those things, those traumas in our life. So what are examples of this? And we may have all said this. Hey, I never thought I'd still be single. Okay, how about that one? I never thought I'd be married multiple times. How about that one? I never thought I'd be married multiple times. I never thought I'd be divorced. How many people get married and you never think you're ever going to be divorced, right? How many times have you said, I thought I would be more financially stable at this moment in my life? Or, I thought I would live in a better house. Hey, I've owned several homes. Right now I live in a condo. So, you thought, hey, I thought I'd live in a better home. How about, in my case, I never thought that I would be widowed. How about that one? I never thought I'd be a single parent, that my wife would pass away, I'd adopt her son, and I'd raise him as a single parent. Never saw that coming, right? I never thought my kid would get sick. How many people, your kids get sick or they get diagnosed? Or even, I never thought that my kid would pass away. I remember my grandmother was 88. Her oldest daughter was 63, died of cancer. I remember my grandmother was so depressed and crying for weeks. Of course, she's Italian, She wore black for I don't know how many months. But she said the worst pain is when you outlive your children. And I thought, wow, that's intense. Even at 88, right? I never thought my child would die before me, right? I never thought that I would never practice chiropractic. I wouldn't practice chiropractic. I certainly never thought that I'd be doing TMTs every week. So these are all pains of unfulfilled expectations that we assign the emotion and the meaning to. There's a Yiddish proverb. It says, man plans, God laughs, right? Man plans, God laughs. Okay, we all know this one because, hey, we know God's got a plan, right? We have these big plans, and how many times those don't work out quite like we wanted. So, but what's the reality of the truth when we get past significance, when we get past striving for status, when we get past our own expectations, and then we learn to live with a little more presence? Well, first of all, what's the truth? We're spirits on a human journey, right? We all every spiritual being seeks consciousness of ourself, which means we come back to universal laws. So if you're striving for stuff, you may get stuff, and then you find, man, I'm unfulfilled. I have everything I want, but yet I'm not happy. Or, people that are living for things, and all of a sudden you go through a divorce, then all your stuff is gone. So we're always going to come back. The universe and our spirit always brings us back to truth. How about when you have a problem in a relationship or someone, man, I don't even want to see that person, but then you keep running into them, right? What's the universe telling you? Let it go, man, let it go. So you can't fight universal law. You're a spiritual being. You strive to seek consciousness of your own divinity, and things in the world will always bring you back. And so what's the other truth? That every event in our life is not only leading us to discover our truth, but it's leading us to fulfill our soul purpose. Many times, our soul purpose comes from our greatest pain. Hey, we wouldn't have TMTs if I didn't watch my wife take her last breath. So a lot of times, our greatest pain is our greatest gift. Hey, Tyler and Bill and Gwen. So, when we find the gift, then we can release the pain. So if I just use my own life, hey, in my first marriage, I was married to a chiropractor, and we just worked. Why? Because I was 30 years old, man. I got to prove myself to myself. I got to increase my status. So we had, waterfront property. We had a home. We had all the toys. We had all that. Next thing you know, we worked so hard, we never took one-on-one time. So what happened to our marriage? Had a great business, but our marriage fell apart because we didn't take that time. And then where's all the stuff? All of a sudden you're dividing stuff, and then the stuff is gone. So that was a lesson, get clear on ourselves. So what did I learn? I just want to be happy. I'm not doing things for stuff. And then I want one-on-one time. So my second marriage, what did I do? Every night I used to light candles before we went to bed, and we would talk. Isn't that amazing? You stop the world and you connect and talk. So guess what happened? We had sex every night. Isn't that fascinating? Why? Because connection and intimacy is about communication. So then our marriage was different. Now I look back, that's my wife that passed away. I can treasure those moments, when we were laying in bed and the candles were burning and we were just talking to each other, right? So that's a great memory. I also remember I came out of the divorce. I got married to my second wife that passed away. I was renting a home, so I was putting myself back together financially. And I remember hating this house. I hate living here. I'm 40 years old. Why do I do this? I should have this. I gave up all that. Here I'm renting a home. I don't like where I live. And I had all this pain of expectation. And then one day it hit me that until I learn to appreciate where I'm at, I'm creating my own prison cell. How many times do we look around and we're like, well, I don't like this, and I should be here, and this should be like this, right? And we create our own prison cell, and we're banging on the door trying to get out of the prison cell, and the key's in our pocket. It's right in our pocket, but what's that key? Appreciation. And so it hit me, so I started walking around the house. I love this house. I love this. I started to love everything. Hey, within 6 months, we had the house of our dreams. My wife decorated it. I mean, she was practically an interior designer. It was amazing. Everything was so awesome. A year later, she passed away with cancer, right? Unexpected situations happen. So after she passed away, what did I learn? Hey, I learned unconditional love. I learned don't fight about small things. I learned keep a big picture. I learned that, don't work hard and sacrifice your marriage, that have time for relationships. And then obviously as a business owner, work your ass off. Anybody that owns their own business, sometimes, man, all you have is faith. So I'm going to give you 4 steps. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps to let go of those expectations and find the gift. So step number 1, honor people. How are you honoring them? You're honoring them at their own consciousness. Everybody's on their own soul journey with God. Their consciousness is between them and God. We don't have to agree. It's not about agreement. It's about unconditionally loving another innate being, another spiritual being, because that's who they are, and they're on their own soul journey. So number 1, honor people. What's that do? Keep in love. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. What's the next thing? Be above it. What's that mean? Be above in consciousness the conditions of the world, and realize that everything outside of you is going to change. Nothing is permanent. We create that world from the inside out by our perception, by the emotion that we assign. So that's really it, is when you get above it, you're in a higher consciousness. You see that it has a purpose. Then I don't have to assign pain to every condition and know, hey, I may not agree with it, hey, Clyde, but right now, hey, it's temporary. It's going to change. So number one, honor people at their level of consciousness. Number two, be above it. Number three, just have faith. What's that mean? Have faith that knows that everything we see in our life has a reason and it's for our good. You know, sometimes we have pain and it's extreme pain, right? Because the meaning we assign, and there's certain conditions and life can just be that way. But we know there's a blessing in every gift. We got to look for the blessing. Hey, go back to the TMT when right after Kobe Bryant passed and his daughter passed, because that's all about find the blessing in every tragedy, because there's just some things that we can't control. So, hey, Katie, so let's have faith that everything is working toward our soul purpose. So honor people, be above it, have faith. Number four, stay in presence. Stay in now moment, right? And know that God has cleared the path. I don't have to be anxious about the future. Let tomorrow's worry, let's worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about those tomorrow. Now here's the funny thing about, hey, tomorrow's worries, I'll worry about those tomorrow. Because, okay, I'll put that worry off till tomorrow. Let me just be present. Let me just be enjoy. Let me do what I need to do today, and I'll worry about the tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and tomorrow's today. And so what do? You know what? I think I'll worry about that tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. Time is always in presence. So once we stay in present, we don't judge where we're at. We find the gift in it. We let tomorrow's worries be about tomorrow. Then all of a sudden we're in a more joyful state. Now we change the meaning of those expectations. We realize everything can change in a moment. And then we begin to create our life, right? We don't succumb to the conditions outside us. We take power and we create our life from a divine perspective. So what is that? Honor people to the level of consciousness. Hey, be above it, man. Know that the conditions of the world are temporary. We have faith that everything is working for us toward our soul purpose, and we stay present. Let tomorrow handle tomorrow. We don't need to worry about that today. So rather than say, I never thought that I would be, and having an expectation, setting yourself up for disappointment, we can change that to, I am thankful for. I'm thankful for, and that's appreciation. Famous quote from Tony Robbins: when we trade expectation for appreciation, we turn disappointment, anxiety, we turn that all into joy. Now we exist at a different level of consciousness, and we live at a different level. So, hey, let's get rid of, I never thought I'd be. Let's get rid of expectation. Let's go into appreciation. Let's change that for gratitude, because gratitude is the catalyst for miracles. Now remember, miracles are a change in perception. That's what miracles are, change in perception. So let's move from expectation to appreciation, and let's live our life at a higher level. All right, you guys, love you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Blessings to you.